So communication has really bridged a gap for us, but we have to work on it because we don't get it all the time. Like literally, there will be times where we're not going to agree. Like we communicate and communicate and communicate and communicate. And I'm just like, dude.
Just button heads.
It's just, I hear you, but I don't agree. Or he'll be like, I don't agree. Like I hear you. Like I understand like I get where you're coming from. It doesn't line up with what I
So what do you do in those moments?
In those
I was going to say, do you
moments,
just agree or disagree?
Well, not the first time, not the first day.
Yeah, I'm so ready for this.
So,
welcome to the Focal Flip Podcast. Every week we take a deep dive into the mystery and stigma behind mental health and explore real life stories of struggle and triumph. We aim to educate and encourage others as we bring together a diverse group of guests. From the streets to sanctuaries, classrooms to boardrooms, mental health does not discriminate, and neither do we. Prepare to laugh, prepare to cry, prepare to be changed. Let's get into it. It is Warrior Women season at the Focal Flip Podcast. In this episode, I've got Danielle Harris and Mercedes Clarke. Danielle and her husband own a remodeling company called JLH Customs. Also, Danielle helps carry on the family business that is TOB Design Firm. She travels everywhere to make everything look pretty. She'll tell you. Mercedes Clarke, her and her husband, Will Clarke, former Bengals player, current UFL player, very powerful, influential leaders in the community, known for being a cheer director in Union. They have a training company for young athletes as well. Just very inspirational folks. In this episode, we talk about the family dynamic. We talk about the woman's perspective, a wife's perspective in the relationship as a leader, the different types of love languages, et cetera, et cetera. So I hope you guys enjoy.
So I've been going to Seven Hills before it got really big. Mm-hmm. But I think for me and for like my husband's platform of what he does, I like when it is a bigger service and I can slip in, I can worship, I can get the word, and I can go home and feel fulfilled. I don't like when the attention is put on me and my husband. That's not what we went,
you didn't show up that day for that.
We're very sociable. We know a lot of people and we love to see people, and it's not like my husband will talk to any and everyone, and I love that. Like it's a beautiful thing. But I think for me, when it comes to like me going to church, I don't really need anybody to see that I'm there.
Correct.
For me, like I just kind of like to be there for me, for myself, and because Will's 6'7", and, oh my goodness, and just this huge human being, and he played for the Bengals.
Huge human being.
He is. You can't. He's there.
Yeah.
You're always good. He's always going to stand out.
Sure.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But for me personally, there's a time and a place. And a lot of times when I'm at church, I'm not at my best. And I'm not hiding from people, but I just want to have I want to worship, I want to praise, I want to get the word, and I want to be vulnerable, and I want to live in my moment. And I don't want everybody and their cousins staring at
looking
me.
at you.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm like it's fine if you do, but I'm like, no, look where you're supposed to look like.
And I think maybe that's why
don't look at me. Not here.
And that's maybe why I have the opposite feeling, like about how mega churches really aren't my vibe, because I feel like I would know too many people. I would have to socialize. And I also feel like it's very easy in the larger churches to just kind of like fade away and check in and check out, like clock in, clock out type of deal. And so for me, and two, I'm not there, like you said, I'm not there for a show. I can show up in my pajamas at my church and nobody's going to say a word. I would say when we go to church on Saturday nights, I'm probably more the minority at our church in the sense that most of the people that are showing up on Saturday night, there's a lot of homeless, there's a lot of addicts, there's a lot of people coming right off of the streets. And I love that because
that's a different environment though.
I
would probably love that too.
I feel like people that are there because they are hungry. Mm-hmm. And that's where I don't want to be there just because you're checking a box of your week.
For sure.
So that's why I like where we are at. But I will also say my most intimate moments with Jesus are probably in my car by myself. I'm in my car a lot driving for what I do. And if I turn on worship music and the Holy Spirit shows up and I'm bawling down the highway, I mean, that happens all the time. So, you know, for me, church can show up in a lot of places, but my car probably is the most intimate. So you have to go where you're being fed. Some people it's a mega church. Some people it's their car. Some people it's a small group community. I mean, everybody has a different place of where they're being fed, and none of them are right or wrong. Sure. It's just what works for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, you know, that's a fascinating, that's interesting. I'm glad you said that. I think the part that I struggled with while being in church and growing up, was I was too afraid to talk about the messy, even when it was supposed to be a comfortable area, which it probably still would have been. It was all right here. But I think when I got into the trenches of recovery and such, it was like a similar mindset. Like, okay, now they can understand because they all can relate with the messiness that I've dealt with. And I'm placing a lot of blame everywhere else. And that's where that is where I started to get fed. And then I start going back into churches, and it's like, you know, I'll walk in, I'm emotional too. And I drive a lot as well. So my worship time is in there. But there's times like now when I'll go in, now that I'm connected and have a relationship with Christ, and I'll walk in there and worship will hit me right away, and I'm just bawling.
Oh, I bawl it.
But I don't
bawl
have people
every
looking
time.
at me either. And it's not like I'm popular. I'm not like Will or you guys because
I'm not popular. Will
yeah, it's like, but when I'm in there, because now that I have that feeling, now that it's not fake, I want to. Like I'll have these senses of relief, like release, and then all of a sudden I'll have a thought come in and be like, "Who's watching you?"
Yeah,
and I'm like, "All right, like."
It's just very
I've
intimate.
Been getting rid of all of that, but then sometimes that little fiery dart comes in and hits me, and I'm like, "No, don't you mess with my mojo right now?"
Yeah,
because I'm walking with this dude every day. So I think don't try this.
Yeah,
like it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
Well, I think that was the beauty for me was when we're at church on a Saturday night. Honestly, I couldn't even tell you who's in attendance and who's not because it's about Christ Chapel, Church 922.
Okay, cool. Keep going.
So for those of you that don't know about Church 922, it's a part of Christ Chapel. It's on Saturday nights. Our pastor, Craig, he is the owner of Mother's Tattoo. So he reaches a whole different, that's kind of how it started, is he reached a whole different dynamic of people because of his business. And he has an amazing story, an amazing testimony. And so he went to the lead pastor of Christ Chapel years ago and was like, I just have this vision, and this is kind of what we want to do to reach people that, you know, are kind of the unreachable, I guess.
Yeah, he's an excellent human being. He really is.
And so I just love it. I just think, I mean, when I'm there, to be honest, I couldn't tell you who shows up and who doesn't show up because I'm just at one with Jesus. And when we first started showing up there, I literally remember we started going there in the end of 2016. Filed for divorce in 2017. But I think it was because we were in the right place and God was like, I'm going to break all this now because you're in this place where you get to see everyone's broken and it's okay. And so I think if we would have still been at the place that we were prior, I don't know that it would have worked out the same way because we didn't have that same connection of seeing. Like it was very like facade-y, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
God's just weaving that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And crazy. I feel like for me with Seven Hills, hey Pastor Marcus.
Hey Pastor Marcus.
Hey.
Shout out Seven Hills.
I was with them, like I said, when they were smaller. Anna and Domata Pecco actually brought us there when Will first got drafted to the Bengals. They were actually the people who kind of took us under their wing.
Oh, cool.
And
he's like the kindest person.
They lived in Taylor Mill.
They're the most amazing human beings. And I literally thank God that this is where God placed us. When Will got the call, I was like, where is Cincinnati? I've never even... Where is that?
Where were you at?
I'm from Buffalo, New York.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's from Bills.
He's from Pittsburgh. I know it's tough.
Oh my gosh.
He's from Pittsburgh, but we met in college. We went to West Virginia University. So we've been together since college. But yeah, so when he first got here, I was like, this is different. But I was very thankful because this is when Andy Dalton and all them were on the team. It's a very faith-led team. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the people and the environment that we were placed in brought us closer. That's when awesome. I got my relationship with Christ because the women that I'm around, that my husband's around, these are people who, like, we go to church every Sunday. We do these things like just watching people with so much, give so much, it was just inspiring. And I was like, man, if I could even be a fraction like Anna.
So your small group is really what?
I was like just a fraction of the human being that the Pecos are. I'm winning because they're just, you would never know how fortunate and blessed they are because they have so much humility and so much love, and their foundation was in Christ, and it was so encouraging. And like, I was just like, I locked in. And then Megan and Lamoris Crawford, they were the chapels for the Bengals and like doing Bible study with them. So really the NFL and the Bengals brought me and my husband closer to Christ. We always had a relationship, but yeah, Anna and Domata, they get so much credit for bringing us to Seven Hills. We fell in love. I had never felt at home somewhere ever. And so I think that because of being with them from the start, the fact that they're expanding, it doesn't feel big to me, because I still have my personal relationship.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I still have my
now.
core, but I can slip in and slip out.
Yeah.
But if I'm ever like when we had our daughter Mila, I sent Pastor Sarah a picture. I was like, "Hi, this is Mila. They sent us flowers. We hadn't been to church in a year." But it's the relationships. It's you know what I mean? It's bigger than that. So that's why that's like always going to be home for me, because I've been with them since they were smaller. So it doesn't feel like a mega church when I walk in there. It feels like home. Because I have that relationship. When I'm watching Pastor Marcus or Luke on stage, it's like, oh, hey guys, look at you, Luke, look at you go. Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's very like, yes. And
there's benefits to the
I'm
mega
like,
churches.
you're speaking today with Clarke. Like, you know, Clarke.
We went to, actually, coincidentally, we showed up the same night for a Christmas event at Seven Hills, and we didn't even know it.
I got invited to Seven Hills as well, so I've gotten to go check that out now, and I did enjoy it.
And we were there for a Christmas event. We were like, what are you doing here? What are you doing
here?
But it was amazing. I had never, and they have the ability to be able to capture people. I mean, with just the talent that God's given people that are there. I mean, it was like, whoa, this is
literally.
wild.
They hooked me at worship. I mean, I'm serious, because when I got in there, I felt comfortable. Like when worship started, I'm like, ooh wee.
It was pretty powerful.
Sometimes where you're just like, okay, it's gonna be one of them days. You know what I mean? Like, dudes feel this stuff too. Like, we do. Well, that's awesome. I didn't know that we were going to start our conversation off that way, so thank you for that and for letting me run and hit record. So, awesome stuff. To all of my Focal Flip squad, everybody, all of our viewers and listeners, we just recorded a really cool episode. Had nothing to do with me. It's just here on this set. Pat Morgan from Thankful and Thriving, a local person from Union that has been really pouring in to the communities here in Northern Kentucky. Reached out to these two powerful ladies. One that I've had a relationship with for a while. It's a good friend of mine, Danielle Harris. And the other I just met today, which is Mercedes Clarke. So, ladies, say hello.
Hello.
Hi.
So we already started recording on this because we were getting into some spiritual stuff. But the reason that we're going to do and the way we're going to form and shift this episode is based on how I received your all's episode that we just recorded. So I'm sitting in the background, and a lot of times I have a million things that I feel like I have to balance, but I also don't want to look up at whoever's hosting, so they don't feel like they have to look up at me. But it's given me the ability to really listen, so I can move around, but just listen to these keywords that hit. You all just kept hitting and hitting and hitting. So what I wanted to say is that for Focal Flip right now, a lot of people can look at follower counts and all that stuff. It's really cool to have those things. But when you look at ratios, I always talk about impressions and statistics and data. So if you were to look at our podcast, it's mostly men. And we're reaching a lot of men. So we've been putting a lot of stuff out, but when the analytics come back to us, it's 40% women. So the thing is that there's weight that is being carried, there's truth that's being delivered, and it's starting to resonate with people. So like with those things, my goal is to find the similarities in everything, create, strengthen partnerships, build teams so we can go and teach people how to live like a fruitful life.
Yeah.
With peace, with balance, all that stuff. So as I sat back there, I was excited, number one, to have ladies come on here because I'm super solid with guys. Like I'm a solid person in general, like my personality, but I'm not a woman, and I want to reach everyone and our partners in life. Our relationships, majority of them, husband, wife, there are other different relationships out there too. But it's all the same. And I feel like in life, if we learn how to listen and work super hard, we can create balance for ourselves. I heard things in the episode about prophetic stuff. Positivity can be prophetic. Like prayer, all that stuff is the same thing. Like I just could sit there and relate so much. You guys were talking about children and the impact. That's huge for me. I just decided to come out of basketball coaching retirement to take on sixth graders.
What an age.
Yeah,
what an age to be alive. I know we've all got them, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I've got 4. So like I've got 2 biological, 2 bonus. Like my squad's in there too. This is where God's teaching me. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason that Pat reached out and said, hey, I want to do this. There's a reason that the first 2 people that she reached out was to you. And it's because I can learn from that a ton. Not only do I want our conversation to reach people, but just like that, I came up with this. You guys aren't even going to be able to see, but I just literally would go back to my seat and come up with notes, because my mindset is like we work super hard as men. Men often at times they work like a circuit board. So we'll love our partners and stuff, but then our frustrations, our lack of patience and everything starts to really like run amok, and that's where that firm foundation of the spouse and the woman in that relationship like comes in. But hearing your perspective of it, I'm like, man, okay, you all are genuine and it's real. And that's awesome. That's all I want to have on this podcast is authenticity. So my first question is on what can we do better as men? Because I heard a lot of the partnership thing in there. I heard of the frustrations. I heard we bring this, we bring that. And like, it's true. That's the thing is that's all true. So I'm sitting back from a guy's perspective going, fact. Like, all right, so in my mind, how do we do this better? Like, how can we do this better? These last 5 years for me and this inner work thing that I had to do was the hardest thing I've ever had to do. That's super hard because pride, ego, like was mentioned before, it exists. It's a real thing, So like for us, first question right away, what can we do as men to be a better partner in our relationship?
Well, I think, and people are going to be like, here we go. So
you got a dude right here. So here's our opportunity.
Yeah, speak your truth, queen.
The love languages for me was when we figured all of that out. And it's the funniest thing because when we took premarital counseling, they talked about like what your love languages were, but we really didn't, I guess, we just were like not processing that. I don't know what we were doing, but I think there really isn't like a set one answer for all. I think you have to find out how your partner or friend or whoever it is receives love.
Okay.
And so like for Josh and I, like my love language is acts of service. I'm all about if you empty a dishwasher, that's how I see that you love me. And we have opposite love languages. Like his is words of affirmation and physical touch. I need 0 words of affirmation from you. I need, I'm just not that person. So learning how to, I think it's very difficult to go, okay, well, I would prefer you empty a dishwasher and that's my love language, but you have to learn how to show people love in their love language. And I think that's really hard for people that have opposite love languages.
What a great way to start there.
So even friendships, like Sam is my best friend who you happen to be dating. Yep. And she has very opposite love languages that I do. And so learning how to show someone love in friendship is the same way. You have to be able to show somebody love by the way they receive love, not by the way you receive love. So I think there's not one set answer. I think it's finding out who they are as a person and how they receive love.
Yeah, that's something I struggle with for sure.
I don't even think I know what my love language is because it changes like every day depending how I feel.
Really?
Like one day I'm like, yeah, I would love you to buy me this. And the next day I'm like, ew, I don't want that. Like, just tell me I'm pretty. Or like, I don't know what I want.
You can have 2 love languages.
But you know what I'm saying?
Like
I'm a mess. Bless my husband's heart because I don't even know what I want. But I think for me, something that I try to express to him that I feel like would help strengthen our bond and our roles as husband and wife and man and woman is I told him, like, I grew up very guarded, very like, I have to be strong. I have to be independent. I have to take care of this. I have to do this. If I don't do it, it's not going to get done. I basically grew up like with a masculine mentality, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm a married woman and I want to be a soft girl and I want to live in my femininity and just take care of my kid. Like, I want those traditional things, but to feel that energy and not be so guarded all the time. But I had to explain to my husband that, like, you have to speak to that side of me. If you're coming at me and I feel like I got to have my walls up or I got to, like, I'm defending myself, like, you're going to get a dude, really. Like, I'm gonna hit you with that energy because, like, my whole life I've been like that. And yours, like, but when you speak to me as the mother of your children, the woman that you love, like, when he's like, babe, you look so pretty today. Like, you're doing such an amazing job. Like, just a hug or whatever. When you're speaking to the feminine part of me, or you're like, hey, babe, you want to go get your nails done? Go get your nails done. Like, just things like that to just encourage me being in my, like I said, in my femininity. That's what helps me, because then also, too, I feel safe with him. I feel like I can be more submissive. I feel like I can fall more into that nurture role because I'm not defending myself and fighting for, like,
that's awesome.
Myself.
This is really good.
And it also helps me to be able to have more respect for him. He needs respect. And we go through that all. He's like, I don't feel like you respect me. I don't feel like you listen to me. And I'm like, but I do listen to you. But I can understand how when I'm guarded and I'm on, like, hey, dude, whoa, how it kind of would come as I don't respect you because, like, who are you talking to?
Yeah. I love how you worded it, though, because Josh jokes all the time, like, our roles are opposite. Like, he's more like a woman, I'm more like a man, like in a relationship. Because I'm the same way.
But when you're strong and independent, it's natural.
Right. But I love how you put it, how you said that you explained to him that you need to be treated. Because I think in our marriage, especially, like, I've just kind of taken on that role of, like, you know, I don't need the feminine stuff necessarily. So I'll just go do what I need to do.
Yeah.
But I love that you said if you speak to me like that, if you talk to me like that.
Yeah, that was really good.
I love that. I'm gonna explain that when he gets home tonight and be like, we're gonna unpack
I'm
this.
sitting here like,
You get what you speak to.
I got a lot of work
if
to do.
you speak to the soft feminine, you'll get that. If you speak to if you're trying to attack me, I'm a good fighter.
Yeah, and I love how you said you're gonna get a man.
Yeah, like,
I'm the same way.
I'm not proud of it, but that's just how I've been.
Too. And I think with us, and you probably, because you're sort
Bye,
of...
Pat. It's okay. We can talk to you on ours. We're good.
Bye. And you're sort of running a business in a way, because you guys are in a community together, kind of running that. Josh and I run a business together. So a lot of it is, you know, trying to... We're always in that executive mode. You know what I mean?
Well, we do run an actual business. We run a training business.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure
So you understand how that feels too.
Yeah.
So it's like we're always in that mode of, like, executiveness, and then sometimes that can get crossed and tangled too. So I love how you worded that, because I'm gonna need we're gonna have a come to Jesus about that. I like that.
Oh man, I hope Sam doesn't come to Jesus. I'm gonna go get it. I'm gonna intercept it. I'm gonna go be that come to Jesus.
I'm texting her as soon as we leave.
I'm gonna be like, Michael's gonna be over the top for you tonight. He's learning.
I just don't think that. Like, I can't really speak for men because I'm not a man, obviously. But I just don't think. I think there's so many things that men have on their plates that they're thinking of that are priorities to them. That remembering that their partners are, like, we're sensitive, beautiful creatures is not a thing that they necessarily remember. It's kind of like we're their safe space, so it's like we're gonna get the attitude.
Yeah, and
we're gonna get the bad. We're gonna get the bad day.
That's brutal.
And I'm like, dude, I was not playing on your 7th grade team.
Yeah,
I didn't miss that tackle. Like, calm down. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome. Great. That was awesome. Yeah, I already said on here. My next note was, I related so well with everything you all said in your episode. So here we go. This one is specifically for kids, and with me and coaching kids and coaching basketball. I love coaching in general. I mean, it's what I've
Same.
Yeah, I fit my whole persona around it now. It's what I do for a living, and I think I'm just a natural. Like, I was given that from my family, and then learned from a ton of different coaches. But it's been interesting the more that I traveled around and coached at different programs from different communities and cities, because you see different problems within each. But I always found that to be one of the most biggest driving forces for me was watching kids grow and teaching them how to build character. Mm-hmm. And so unique in your all's episode was they're all different. This is a common theme from me. I have to say this a lot, and I teach myself this all the time, and I learn from other people, and I have to listen and be a better listener too. But with these kids, I just came out of retirement coaching Twin Awful 6th grade boys basketball this year, and for me, it's so exciting to be able to do that, but it was killing me inside because I had to make cuts when there's 51 kids that are coming out for tryouts. When you're wired like me and what you can do with your team to impact all 51 of those kids.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to cut anyone?
No. Yeah. So
yeah, you see the potential in all of them.
Right. So I have to as a man, I had to flip that switch off and just go, all right, got to find my guys, and that was so hard to do. But what I love is that I have 13 different personalities.
So you cut from 52 to 13?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And then for 7th grade, we ended up having like just less than 50 show up for 7th grade tryouts. And I'm telling you, the teams are good. They're good. I have a coach in one of them, and I think that they're going to be good. But the 13 kids all have different personalities. Mm-hmm. They all have different parents, and all their parents have been through different things. And so that's the fun part from the genuine, real, non-paycheck collecting coaches. They get in there, and they find a way to take and unite all 13 of them to accomplish specific goals, mainly one. And it's like that thing when you all were talking about how you have to get in there with those kids, that's it. That is my project every morning now for the next 3.5 months. It's like, okay, how am I going to lead this group this way, but be able to affect and impact and drive them individually, yet love them and learn on them? This is parenting with our families. It's like we have to know them, love them, learn them, build the team together. I'm going to force everybody outside to show you what community looks like with my family. So that was amazing. What can we do together, collectively, to help these kids farther and to make a larger impact? Because that is it. I want to communicate that to everybody because I feel like very quickly today it is bam, babysitter tech. Boom, this. I don't have time to listen. It's happened to me when I got busy with businesses. Kid, Elena would mention one thing I'll never forget. It's just one specific conversation we get to have. And I have lots of conversations. It's every single one of these things I miss. I got to hit this. So what is your all's advice when it comes to getting to a group of kids and pushing them forward towards that common goal? But there's only one of me.
You go because you're the coach. I can't coach.
So I have assistant coaches.
I'm not coaching.
I ask it that way just to say it's the same way as if we were to take a group and lead them towards a vision, lead them to Christ. I can't say, hey, I'm leading these guys to Christ in school, which I love it. I am.
No, seriously. I think for me, and I say this with all humility, I just think that part of the way God made me, I don't see I see deeper than face value. Mm-hmm. So when I look at a person, I don't just see what you're presenting. I always look deeper. So I think that's part of one of my gifts that I have. And with kids, it's helped me because if you're having a bad day or you just don't listen and they're like, I don't know what to do with it. They're not listening. I'm just like, okay, well, there's a reason why they're not listening. I'm just going to pull them aside and talk to them. Let's see what's going on. A lot of kids have issues at home.
Tons.
A lot of kids just have behavioral issues, mental health. I suffer from mental health. I just got, at 32 years old, bless my heart, I just got diagnosed with ADHD.
Wow, no kidding.
And I started my medication, and when I tell you it's changed my life, I am back to, I feel like myself. I didn't realize it didn't have to be this difficult. But I say that because as a person who struggles with lots of things like that, I always I'm a very big advocate for mental health. So it's if you're having a bad day, I don't care if you're just in a bad mood, you had a long day. We're going to go sit and we're going to talk about it. I just take the time to talk. If I see something's wrong, if I see something's off, you don't even have to tell me. I can just look at you and I can just tell. And I'm like, everybody go get water. Come here. Let's take a walk. What's going on? How was school? Is everything okay? Did somebody hurt your feelings? Come to find out there's kids being bullied at school, being bullied at cheerleading. It's like, I would never know. I would never know if I didn't take the time. I would just think you're just being a little spoiled brat. But no, there's depth in behavior.
And that's why I think when I was talking earlier about how I try to keep it simple and just ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, that's all you got to do. You just got to treat them like people.
Questions, eventually they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you what you want to hear one way or another. Or they may not start at, they may be very vague, but you say, well, tell me more about that. Well, what about that? So, I think just asking questions and treating them more like a one-on-one situation, like you were talking about.
It's more time. It takes more time.
Right.
And it's not easy. It's not the easier way to do it, but it's the more effective way to do it, because then you're building relationships with these kids, you're building relationships with their parents, and you're creating, like, my whole goal for becoming the cheer director was to create a program where these kids are learning how to be better cheerleaders and getting more skills, obviously, because I'm passionate about that.
Yeah.
But to give them a safe space for that hour and a half, 2 hours you're with me, I don't want you to worry about anything but you're being with your friends and you're doing cheerleading. Like, if you had the worst day ever at school, you're happy because you're here.
Day starts over now.
Yeah, like, it's okay. And if you want to talk about it, hey, Coach Mercedes will be here. She's always late, but she'll be here, so I'll talk to her. So I'm always here. And even when parents come and talk to me and they're always like, I didn't want to offend you. I'm not an easily offended person. Actually, it takes a lot to offend me because I'm so very I'll read a message and someone will be like, yeah, I want to talk to you. And they'll mean it like that. And I'll read it like, oh, hey, when you have time, can we talk? So I'm like, yeah, sure. Whatever. You want to talk now? You want to go? I was like, but we have to have the hard conversations.
Yep.
Because that's how we get results. And that's how we
grow.
Yeah. And that's how we get solutions. I was like, don't ever be afraid to talk to me about anything. I said, first off, your kids are your most important thing in your life. And if there's ever a concern, or just ask me. If I have a problem answering an uncomfortable or not happy question, then I'm the problem. Let's talk about it. There's nothing we can, really there's nothing we can't talk about. I mean, we're all here for the kids. Let's just be here for the kids. And it's that simple. I just treat kids like people.
Yeah. It's amazing when they start to trust you, and that's when they open up. Like, gosh, we just had a very recent bullying experience with my son, and that was rough. It was really rough.
Bullying is bad. It's really bad right now.
It is.
Well, and social media drives a lot of it.
I've been knee deep in this bullying thing since I started Focal Flip, to be honest. But what was cool this time was, we got through the traumatic part of the situation. And then afterwards, I was sitting there thinking, like, okay, he's going through tough stuff. He's a sixth grader. Well, let's figure out how to get in here, And once I did, he opened up, went and got him a haircut and stuff, made him feel better about himself. And then when he came back was where it was unique. On the ride back, he was like, hey, Dad, will I have to explain my day to everybody else in my family today? And I thought that was interesting. And I said, that's a really interesting question, bud. I was like, why'd you ask that? And I said, and the answer is no. I was like, a lot of this can fall on my responsibility. Mm-hmm. And he goes, because I've already processed it now, we've talked through it, and I want to have a great rest of my day.
Then that's all he
awesome.
Needed. That's
Dude,
all he
I'm
needed,
almost
though.
getting emotional just talking about it. But that was like, okay.
That's all he needed.
That's it. That was it. And then it was, let's move through that day.
That's all.
Middle school is because Tanner is in 7th grade, and so 6th grade last year. It's just, I don't know. Everyone told me middle school was hard.
I'm
like, how can it be that different from 5th to 6th? 6th grade was very difficult last year.
Nervous.
It's just a weird transition.
Yeah.
You go from being like the big man on campus to like the little man
Low
again.
on the totem pole.
It's just weird. And I will tell you, if I can give you encouragement, 7th grade's been 10 times. It's a complete flip of the switch.
That's good.
It's totally different for him this year.
Good. Now you hear that somewhat often too.
Yeah. Now we definitely like took charge in every situation in 6th grade to make it that way.
Yeah.
But we were very proactive about it. But I just did not expect it to be that different. It was wild. I mean, middle school is tricky.
Yeah.
I'm very nervous. My 10-year-old will be a 6th grader next year, and
It's tricky.
Well, honestly, it's the more of these conversations through the podcast kind of inspired me to come back out to coach. And it was like, do I want to do this at the high school level, or do I want to get in the middle school level? And I keep, with going to some of these schools and seeing it infecting kids younger and younger, kind of drove me to say that interception is 5th grade and 6th grade, from elementary level to middle school. So can we do it? Yeah. But let's just get in there with them. And that's what I'm hoping to show, like that vibe, that energy, that love, to where they can trust me. And that we have that safe space, kind of like what you were saying. Like when they get done with school, I want the gym to be that space that they can come to and just, you know, just release and just go and play. But, yeah, sorry. You guys got me in my feels.
it's okay.
So awesome stuff. Let's end on this one because we're getting close. We're bad on time. How do we find that united front with our husbands and wives? Like, I've heard people talk about, you know, the 100% rule. Like, I'm giving 80 today. I only got 20 in me, so I need you to give 80. Like, how do you all handle this and create that united front with your husbands each day?
I think, well, first of all, I could tell you transparently we're not on a united front every single day. There's simply days that we're not on the same page at all. But I will say that in order to get through things, compromise has been a big thing. It's like, hey, I don't have all, we had to admit, like, every way I want to do things isn't always right. Every way you want to do things isn't always right. So we have to learn that what's going to be best for our family dynamic, and it changes within kids, you know, within each kid. What do I need to compromise on and let you take the lead on this? And what do you need to compromise on and I'm going to take the lead on this? And so I think compromise is the biggest thing, to know that you don't have all the answers. And that's hard for me because I'm a control freak. So it's like, oh no, I'm doing it. Like, we're doing it my way.
Because you know what you're capable of.
Yeah, but having compromise and realizing that, you know, I think it's a really beautiful thing when you get to look at your kids, like we talked about, individually as individuals and not as just the Harris children, because my 3 kids are very different. So I can look at certain things and go, oh, Josh, you should take this one because Tanner is a lot like you in this way. And so you know what it's like to be a 13-year-old in Tanner's mind. I don't understand that. So maybe you should talk to him about this specific issue. Or, hey, Tanner's really strong-willed and he's a lot like me in that way, so I'll take this issue. You know, just compromising on different things like that for sure helps, but it doesn't work every day because we're not always on the same page every day. And we have to kind of like dial it back. And sometimes stuff will hit you like out of nowhere and we have to do it on the fly. And then we get home and we're like, hey, let's just talk about this before we go back to the kids or go back to whatever. Cause we're not on the same page. You're wanting to beat people up. I'm wanting to like talk it out.
I'm ready to throw hands.
Like, yeah, you're ready to like, you know, so we got to figure out like what the best solution is. And then there's sometimes where I'm like, you know what, maybe they need to throw hands. You go right ahead.
Hey man, sometimes.
So I take it case by case, I guess, and learning to compromise.
Good stuff. Mercedes.
Yeah, compromise, that's a big one. It's a tough one. Very tough, especially when it is 2 very, very strong people, strong personalities. I think what helps me and my husband, and even me with my kids, is communication. Now, that's tricky because communication is very difficult. Effective communication is very difficult. A lot of times we listen to respond and not to hear the other person, right? I'm very guilty of that because I'm quick. Like, wait, what'd you say? You said my hair was this? What? Oh, okay, I got something for you. But really, that's not even what he's saying. He's just saying, I felt unappreciated, or maybe if you do this. So communication has really bridged a gap for us, but we have to work on it because we don't get it all the time. Like, literally, there will be times where we're not going to agree. Like, we communicate and communicate and communicate and communicate. And I'm just like, dude.
Just button heads.
It's just, I hear you, but I'm not, don't agree. Or he'll be like, I don't agree. Like, I hear you. Like, I understand like, I get where you're coming from. It doesn't line up with what I.
So what do you do in those moments?
In those
I was going to say, do you
moments,
disagree or disagree?
What do you do?
well, not the first time, not the first day.
Yeah, I'm so ready for this.
So what we've started to do now, at least for me, because I can only control how I respond, right? Sure. My husband's still working on himself. You know, he's a human. We're all working on ourselves.
Yep.
So for me, the best way that I can help that situation is like, all right, there's no fruit coming from this conversation. So let's just stop. Let's take a time out. Let's get the kids ready for bed. Let's make dinner. You know, let's move on. Let's put a pin in that.
Pause that thing.
Right there. We go to bed. We're not mad. I love you. You know, we marinate. We pray. And then when I feel like I'm in a space to listen and receive whether I agree or not, like where I'm like, listen, he can say that it's the dumbest idea ever, but I'm just gonna, I'll be okay. I'll be fine with that. Like I can move on with that. And we'll just like, one of us has to get in that space to be able to compromise and agree to disagree. And I think once we give ourselves some time and we both have time to marinate, we actually end up understanding each other's points of views. But then we're just like, you know, we agree to disagree and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Like maybe your way is the better way for certain instances and mine is this way. Or maybe we're just not going to agree on that, but it doesn't mean I love you any less. It doesn't mean I look at you any less. Like that's just something that we're just going to have to work on to see if we get on the same page. And
I love that you said this conversation isn't giving us any fruit because
it's not.
There's so many conversations, and at the end of this argument, I'm like,
yeah, like
first of all, what are we even fighting about right now?
What are we doing,
dude? We got in a fight about sending my dog to daycare. I was like, dude, you're in the NFL. It's $25. He's like, it's not about the money. Well, what is it then? He's like, we don't need to send the dog to daycare. I was like, I'm done. We're done. And then I'm like, did we really just argue about sending our dog to daycare? That was the dumbest thing. And we just looked at each other and started laughing like that was ridiculous. Like this was the most pointless. What are we really mad about? Because that was so stupid. Mind you, I was 9 months pregnant. So
listen.
Oh, come on.
But there is, I mean,
that's a little bit to do with it, I think.
I'm learning so much from you today.
A little irrational.
Get you some ice chips.
But I am learning a lot from you today because that's a great way to say, like, this conversation's going, because usually I'll be like, this conversation's going nowhere and just end it. But if you're like, if you say it more in a gentle manner, like, we're not getting any fruit from this conversation.
Yes.
Like, I love that.
And it's not what you say.
A lot lately.
It's how you say it. And that's what I tell him. I was like, babe, you can talk to me about anything you want to talk to me about, but it's how you say it to me.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going to receive it. It's not what you say.
It's your projection.
It's how you say it to me. We can talk about anything in this world. You think my shoes are stupid? That's great. Don't just be like, those are the ugliest shoes I've ever seen. Be like, babe, listen, I know you like those, but I'm going to suggest something different. Like, it's the way you say it. You know what I mean? Like,
so much more gentle.
It's just how it's your presentation. And it's like, we can talk about anything you want, but like that comes to how you speak to me. What you give is what you're gonna get. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm saved, but I'm still you're working human. On myself. So I cannot guarantee you what's gonna come out. So you know,
I get it. That's great stuff. No, we're wired to be reactionary. That's my thing. Is that I notice that, especially when I'm emotional, it's like I just gotta pause, just chill. Mm-hmm. Like my dad, I looked back at what my dad used to do when being in the farm. When he would get frustrated or they'd be button heads or whatever, he'd just go for a walk. You know?
But to point on that, and this is something that we had to learn, you have to respect when your partner doesn't want to have the conversation anymore.
Dude, I've had to learn
I have a hard time.
You have to when they
That's
say,
so
I am done, we can talk about this later. It doesn't matter how upset you are. You have to respect that boundary or else you're just going to keep going and it's going to get worse.
And I have a hard, because I'll be like, when's later? An hour? Is it tomorrow?
I do too.
Kind of similar like that too.
No,
I want to get it out.
too. Because I'm like, what do you mean? Like, no, you said this. He's like, Sadie, I don't want to have a bad day. I'm done talking about this right now. We can talk about it later. But you have to respect it. And it's hard, but you have to respect that boundary.
I think the older I've gotten, the more wise I've gotten to it. Because, again, going back to, like, my joy ultimately doesn't come from Josh. And he hates when I say that. But I'm like, listen, I'm sorry, it just doesn't. Like, my joy comes from Jesus. So because I think the way he would react to stuff, it would crush me, and that was part of like our issues. I'm like, my joy's got to come from somebody else. So I think with wisdom, throughout the years, I've learned, like, if we don't want to have a conversation right now, like, fine, you can go about your day mad because I'm going to be joyful.
Yeah, no, like, that's fine. What they say, don't argue with a fool. I'm not arguing with you. This is foolish.
Yeah.
That's what I think in my head. I'm like, this is foolish. I'm not arguing with you.
You're not giving me any fruit.
No fruit.
Yeah.
Not doing it.
I need a basket of fruit, and this is not filling my basket.
You will know them by their fruits, y'all. I've been saying it forever.
Yeah.
We got to see if convos are bearing fruit. If not, we're cutting you off.
We don't have time for it.
This trio will cut you off in a heartbeat.
If there's no fruit in that basket.
You learn though with time. You learn with experience and stuff. Is that like we don't get time back. And so now I used to suppress everything. Now I'm like, if I feel something off, I'm like, we got to talk about it. Let's, or I got to express it some form or another. But that's been a big struggle for me too. It's like, I'll have to go in my car and it's some worship music, or I'll drive to the cemetery to visit my dad or something, if I'm frustrated. But that's it. I think that's a massive thing is you have to respect that time. Because there would be times, like even with like Samantha too, where like, she requires more sleep and stuff. And I'll just be like, I want to do this, this, and this.
I require so much sleep.
Yeah. And then like, well, now it's funny because I used to never have sleep. And now I realize how beneficial sleep is.
It's amazing.
And now I'm more productive because I'm getting intentional sleep.
It's beautiful.
It's just a different way to look at it.
She would agree with you that sleep is very beautiful.
She loves sleep.
Me too.
Loves her some sleep. All right. Well, hey, thank you all for coming out. It's been an honor. I know we've spent a lot of time out here and you're probably getting tired. But it's been a blessing. This is my official invite back because the convos were so well that hubby's got to come. I want to talk to the guys. We all got to do stuff out here together. Yeah. I think with our values, morals, work ethic, I think that we're all kind of designed to help these kids in so many different ways. We're just wired that way. So I'd love to figure out how, us and Focal Flip and what we can do to really pour into that even more. Because
I want to learn from what you guys talk about. I want to learn from the guys.
Yeah. I would love to hear. 100% we're tuning in. Well, and I'm going to literally, I'm going to talk to them just like we would here too, because I'm all about owning my stuff now. Like I've screwed up. Like I still screw up. Like I've learned so much with starting the businesses and everything about how much it stressed me out while I was still like trying to be light everywhere else. Mm-hmm. And it just having layers embedded where of just something weighing you down. And so I've had to really like kind of learn how to work my way through that, like Danielle's probably seen times where I've been just exhausted and frustrated when we've been out. It's like, it's something silly, it's crazy, but I'm learning now to express those things. I'm cool with talking about it with dudes, with ladies. That's not a problem, but that's where I want to help shift the dudes' perspectives too. Like I want them to see like, hey, we got some badass women, man, rolling around here. Like I've been throwing out all this guy's clips and like, we have got to get you all on here to start slinging this truth so we can figure out how to bring balance based on this content that we bring out.
I will say they have that saying that behind every successful man is a good woman.
Dude, it's
I didn't make it up. I didn't make it up.
I'm not going to argue it.
I didn't say it.
How can you argue it, boys? I mean, I don't know what else to say. I hope you guys don't rip me up in the comments, but these ladies, they're the real deal superheroes. So I love you guys. I appreciate everything that you were able to talk about today. Look forward to having you come back out.
Yes. Cool. Thank you so much.
We will be here with bells. Problem. Thank you.
High five at the in the Focal Flip podcast is what we do. All right. Love y'all. Hit like, hit subscribe. YouTube, Apple, Amazon, Spotify, Facebook. We're going to be doing some TikTok stuff.
Love TikTok.
Yeah. Well, I'm growing up.
I don't have TikTok.
We got to chat because I was late to the game as well, Danielle.
It's dangerous.
I can only do so many.
No, it is
TikTok
dangerous.
is just. I can only do so many things.
I don't think I have the bandwidth to do it. We need like more people.
No, it's a whole job.
It's a whole thing, huh?
I don't have Snapchat, TikTok. I just don't. I can't do all the things.
Yeah. And you double down on what we're good at, which is our Instagram, and a lot of other stuff. All right. Well, appreciate it. Y'all again, hit like, hit subscribe. We're out.
Bye.
So guys, you should like and subscribe and like hit that okay, I can't get it. Okay. I'm not used to this.
Hey guys, subscribe to my dad's video and
Just like the bell. Hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that bell.
And stay tuned.
100%. Love y'all. We're out.
I love that.